people here are waking up at this quiet seaside town in Essex to the news that this was a terrorism incident, the Met Police say this morning. But as you were saying, that vigil last night was a rather warm event. People were recounting a lot of memories about Sir David, particularly his smile came up over and over again. And I was speaking to people. One man told me that they would see him at the local supermarket, and actually, even though they didn't vote for him, he was still able to talk to them freely and openly and discuss the difficulties that people here have. But as I said, that investigation is now being led by counter-terrorism officers. The early investigation has revealed a potential motivation linked to Islamist extremism. It is believed, Essex police say, that the man did act alone. That 25-year-old man, a British national with Somali heritage, it's thought, has been arrested on suspicion of murder. He is currently in custody at the moment. 2 addresses in London are currently being searched, linked to that man. Of course, Sir David was stabbed at Belfairs Church just behind me. Essex police say he received multiple injuries. They confirmed his death at about 3 p.m. yesterday. At the press conference, actually, a rather poignant quote from the Chief Constable, Ben Julian Harrington. He said that the 69-year-old Southend West MP was simply dispensing his duties when his life was horrifically cut short. But I'll talk a bit more about the service, and I'll throw in a minute to a clip from a man who spoke to me about the atmosphere there and recounted memories of him. But the priest, Jeff Wallner of the local St Peter's Church, led that service. It was a lovely service. One counsellor who came up to me there said that his death had left a giant hole in the community. There was a normal mass, an introduction to the service, a sermon, and then a blessing which took place, and people went up to collect communion. Some people were seated, some people were standing, some had their head in their hands at the news that their friendly local committed MP was killed here yesterday. As I said, people had been talking about his smile, and they said he was a great supporter of local schools. But now let's hear from a man who I spoke to who reflects on the service. Tell me why you were here today.
I came out of respect. The bloke had been there 37 years. He was a well-known face in Southend, and I've seen him in the shops in Lidl's and things, and he's always got time for everybody. And I just thought, yeah, I'm coming.
What kind of man was he? You may not have met him, but you might have got an idea of his character. In there, there's been a lot of tributes about his smile and so on. What was he like? Do you know?
I think he was a very genuine bloke, and he had his own. He championed his own causes. He was very emphatic about what he believed in, what he didn't believe in. Do you know what I mean? I mean, he was very far right of the party. I mean, that was common knowledge. But, I mean, round here is that way inclined anyhow.
And how was the service? What was it like to listen to?
I thought the service was absolutely brilliant. And that the vicar was, he's spot on. He was jolly good. He empathised with everybody. And he gave a real good impression of everything. It was fantastic. Lovely music. I enjoyed it.
And what's your take-home thought for today?
My take-home thought is a bit more warmth of a terrible tragedy. A tragedy that in society people will ask themselves questions of why it happened and what the causes were, and no good can really come out of it. But in the end, let's hope that some does.
So warm tributes being led there by one of the attendees of the vigil. But I just want to bring in, actually, I've been to have a look at some of the flowers that have been laid here. We're at the outer police cordon at the moment. There's a blue heart-shaped balloon that is here as well, but a particularly lovely note that's been left for Sir David. One says, "We are profoundly saddened. We offer our deep condolences on the passing of Sir David due to criminal stabbing. He was an honourable friend of the Iranian people and the Iranian resistance in their quest for freedom in Iran." Another says, "Rest in peace, David. Thank you for everything you did for service against surfers against sewage and for our local community. Much love." And I think those notes allude to what people were telling me last night, saying that he was a hugely committed MP and wanted to support a lot of local causes. But I'll just finish on this note in that This came after Sir David on the 12th actually tweeted welcoming people to the surgery that he was holding at the church behind me. And then, of course, this tragic turn of events happened yesterday.